Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to switch over to a full screen while it's just me talking. And welcome to tonight's show. I was about to say welcome to Nervous Chat, but it's not Nervous Chat. This is just a little one-off episode that I've been obviously talking about doing for a little while. Wanted to do a bit of a catch-up now that the season's finished with some of the people that we've all grown to know and love over the course of the season, and to just take a look back at the season in general, and to look forward, of course, to exciting things to come. So without further ado, I'm not going to leave you listening to me rambling on. I'm going to start bringing in tonight's guests. You should all know them, at least by sight. I'm going to start off with the lady that started all of this. Let me just change the layout again. There we go. If it wasn't for this lady, we wouldn't be here tonight, that's for sure. And her patience with somebody who has absolutely zero rhythm for a dance. So without further ado, let's welcome Vanessa to the studio. Good evening.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. It's lovely to see you again.
Lovely to see you too. I'm excited for tonight.
Yeah, it feels like it's been so long already since season ended. So yeah, it's lovely to get people together again. Next up, we have somebody whose face you should definitely remember. Has been a feature of vlogs of mine, and obviously was in the last episode of Nervous Chat that I did with everybody from the Ents team, and that, of course, is the legend that is Cara. Good evening, Cara.
What an intro! Woo!
Well, you guys deserve it. And tonight we've got a new guest. Some of you will know her without possibly knowing who it is, because she spent most of Fright Nights dressed with a sack over her head, but an unmistakable hat. She's usually to be found hiding away around Black Mirror. I think that's right. So let's welcome Jen to the stage. Jen,
hey!
Lovely to have you with us tonight.
Thanks for that intro as well. Oh, it's great to be here. Oh, I hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm really well, and been excited and nervous about tonight. Actually, it's I haven't done a live like this since July. I think was the last one I did, because it all just got a bit too hectic, and I had to sort of start to stream back a little bit on my workload. Well, it's not even a workload; it's a hobby load, and I was kind of feeling like this hobby load's becoming a bit of a workload. So I decided to ease off the streaming a little bit. That sounds like I was going cold turkey from some kind of drug, doesn't it? I decided to ease off the live streaming. but no, so I thought we'd do tonight because it'd be nice to catch up and sort of and look back, and just want to say a quick welcome to people in the live chat, because that's already ticking over quite rapidly. Evening Shells, thanks for joining. Chloe, it's lovely to have you back on Instagram and on YouTube again as well, and I'm glad things are on the up for you as well. Vicky, lovely to see you, or speak to you at least, and to have you here. Airtime rolls. Tish, I think it is, isn't it? That's it. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you for joining tonight. You're a new viewer. Everybody's quiet. Kate is our mod for tonight. Theme Park Kate, who I think Vanessa, you and Cara probably know. She was quite often with me at Thorpe Park this season, as my one of my best friends. Oliver's Theme Park Vlogs, lovely to see you this evening. Thanks for joining. Chris, thank you for joining as well this evening. Lovely to see you. I'm not sure who this is, so I can't see the photo very well, but thank you for joining. It's great to see you. I'm just making sure I've got everybody. And Cara, Cara, who you guys probably know, well known at Thorpe Park, spent a lot of time, usually to be found near performance stages. So thank you for joining us tonight, Cara. It's lovely to have you. Okay, I think that's everybody in the live chat. It's all, as I say, it's already going a bit crazy. I have set up a little poll in the live chat as well about whether people think that Thorpe Park should do a Christmas event, and it's something we can talk about in a little while because it's something I happen to have an opinion about. So I think it's something we can definitely have a chat about in a little while. Just thinking about that now, I've forgotten how all this works. I really have. Please bear with me, guys. So let's start by looking back. That's the best way to do it. I'm going to put you on the spot straight away. Favorite event of the season, guys, and why?
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
I said, what was your favorite event of the season and why?
Cara, you go.
First, go on, Carl.
Oh my gosh, they're all so great for so many different reasons. But I think it has to be Fright Nights, doesn't it? It's a different breed. It's so fun and so I just there's no way to describe it. Oh, my voice went. It's just so much fun. This was my third Fright Nights with Thorpe Park, and every year it's just the most fun time ever. So, yeah, Fright Nights.
Fair enough. Who wants to go next? Who's the next victim?
Okay.
Go on then, Vanessa.
So I think I've already told you my one, but I mean, I love Fright Nights. It's a different vibe there because it's when we add a whole load more of performance to the Thorpe Park team. So, like the community, that's my favourite part about working at Thorpe Park is the community that it creates, and there's such a big vibe with Fright Nights because of that. But my favourite is Mardi Gras. They're just, I don't know, I was just living my best life in the parade. There was just something about it. Like, of course we had some choreography that was done in the parade, but it was pretty much free. So I don't know, it's just, I couldn't think of anything better than just walking around and having a party on the park to music, just walking through. And then we had that little flash mob in the middle. And then I can think back to the first time we ever did the parade, and it was a total surprise. There was a bang of confetti. I just remember looking up into the sky, and I was thinking, "Oh my goodness, I'm literally living my best life." So yeah, I think, I don't know, it probably played into like Vanessa's ultimate performance fantasy in that moment. But yeah, I absolutely adored Mardi Gras. And also that's when we had the biggest dance cast in this season as well. I loved that. Obviously, I wasn't a part of Lamity, so they probably experienced that, but that's why I absolutely loved Mardi Gras.
I can get that. Jen, how about you?
Well, yeah, I couldn't agree more with Vanessa. Like, there's so much going on. Like, even while at Black Mirror and Angry Birds, we feel the party vibes of Mardi Gras, and also when Carnival's on. We just know there's events happening. There's great PA system saying the show's starting now or in 5 minutes, and it's great. And I can't not say my favorite was Fright Nights this year because of, well, the incredible experience of being one of the crows at Morecambe Meadow. What a joy that was. That was yeah, never had any job like it. But people are just afraid to just see you there. It's like you don't see the person, you see the character, because it's literally on top of us. We are literally.
Yeah, I suppose that's a whole different
The
vibe,
crow,
isn't it?
and
When if the
I was only
people
one
can't
of
see your
the
face,
hat,
they
so
don't.
I like the hat.
Yeah. I've been racking my brain trying to work out which one was my favorite, and I'm gonna have to be diplomatic here and say I don't think I can choose. I loved each one for very different reasons, and I think even the Thrill Makers, although it wasn't an event, it was different, and it brought a party vibe to the park, and it kicked it all off for me. I mean, obviously that's where I first met Vanessa, and that's what kicked off, obviously, getting to know all of you guys, really. So obviously I'm grateful to the thrill makers for that. But it just started the party. It was like it was the pre-party show almost.
Definitely.
And then Mardi Gras really kicked then in, didn't it? And I agree, Vanessa. It was all singing, all dancing, and it was so much better this year because it felt like it was a joint up event as opposed to bits here, bits there, bits over there, which it had been in previous years. And it was just having that joint up area, albeit an L-shaped sort of area. It just really made it pop for me. Then, as if that wasn't good enough, obviously we hit Carnival, and you know that was just again another level. The variety, it was just amazing. Small criticism of Carnival, not criticism of performance. Location, I think putting the circus down the Saw walkway area was possibly a mistake. I think people didn't. I think Kara's going to agree with me here, isn't she?
Yeah, I think us as performers, especially the very few of us that had done Carnival the year before, I can't remember, but I think I figured that I was the only one who stayed in the Carnival area that had done Carnival last year, where I also stayed in the Carnival area. And I love Carnival. I love the idea of it. I love the vibe of it. But obviously, as Stitches was planned to be built, we didn't know that at the time in that area. During Carnival, we couldn't be put there. So I understand why they moved us. But yeah, 100% the location, just we were very hidden, we were very tucked away. But everything about Carnival was so good. The shows, the costumes done by Rachel, Scarlett, and Liv. Oh my goodness, those costumes were fantastic. And of course the choreo from Jessie and Finn for the Flossers choreo. That was all incredible. But yeah, the location for the Carnival was just it wasn't ideal. And I wish more people could have seen the creations that they'd done.
And I think I really felt for you guys because I'd got to know you by that point. And I felt for those of you that were performing in the circus because you were hidden away. And I don't think it was very well signposted either. You know, I think if you're going to hide something away like that, it needs to be well signposted. And I don't think it was particularly well signposted. And I think I highlighted that in a vlog that, you know, it was kind of hidden. Like it was just, yeah. Whereas obviously the junkyard was right in your face, and you know, and you could see the difference in the volume of people watching shows in the circus area and junkyard shows, and you know, absolutely ecstatic for those performing in the junkyard that they had such a massive audience, but really felt for you guys who were trying to, you know, perform at an equal level but to a much smaller audience. And yeah, I just thought, yeah, it was just a bit of bad planning, that one. I get why, because of the Stitches thing, but I just wonder, could circus have maybe gone where the Mardi Gras stage was, and spread out into around Dobble, maybe? Is it? Yes, Dobble now, isn't it? That's right. It's not called teacups anymore. But that was my only criticism of Carnival. And then obviously Oktoberfest. Now, Vanessa will tell you, I had a conversation with her and I said, I don't think I'm going to bother coming for Oktoberfest because I came last year and it was actually just, it didn't feel like it was a commitment. It just felt like it was, we need something to carry us through from Carnival to Fright Nights. So we're just going to sort of put this on, but we're not going to fully commit to it.
Like a filler episode.
And like the filler episode, absolutely. Actually, I did come, and it was so different, and it was a proper event. I don't know whether it fully lived up to the Oktoberfest title, because to me that's all about drinking beer, Whereas actually what I felt was that the stage show was what it was all about for me, and that was brilliant. And that is what made it a much better event. Was the stage shows were so much better, and it felt like there was a commitment to it. You know, like this is a proper event. It's not an afterthought. It's not a gap filler. We're actually want to make this a proper event. So that was brilliant. And then of course, bang, Fright Nights. And I mean, what a Fright Nights. I was blown away, absolutely blown away. There was nothing about Fright Nights other than trailers, but I'm not going to go into that. It's not my favorite maze. But Fright Nights as a whole was just brilliant this year. I think it was the best year I've ever seen. So yeah, I can't choose. I literally can't choose. Every time I think about it, I go, oh yeah, that, and then I go, oh no, but that, and then, oh but that. So yeah, I don't think I can choose. I think a lot of people think Carnival was the best event. I'd get a lot of feeling that Carnival was really well received, but it was the year before as well. And I think a lot of people made trips back specifically for Carnival as well, which was really nice.
Yeah, I think Carnival's way up there because it's definitely a fan favorite, because I think of the amount of interaction time we get to have with the guests that come a lot, which is why it's so popular. Like I got to meet a lot of theme park fans during Carnival. It was the time that I got to develop a friendship with Cara for the first time when she came on park, even though she'd already come to Mardi Gras, but I didn't know her back then. So I mean, that was amazing. That's definitely why. It's the public interaction that we got to have, and plus with the characters that we got to play, you would just have so much fun, and then people would join in. That's why I think you could create a lot of fun memories with that aspect.
To add, I think one of my favorite memories from Carnival has to be Tegan with her #1 Flossers fan sign. She turned up one day. I didn't know she had it. Oh no, maybe she had put it on her story and I saw it. But she sat at the front for the first family show at 12 o'clock, and she had a sign, and I was like, this is, I love this. It was iconic behavior.
Yeah, you can rely on Tegan for that kind of thing.
Always.
She's a legend in her own right, Tegan. She really is. Yeah, the interaction was definitely, but I think the interaction overall this year was better. I didn't feel last year, I didn't go out of my way, obviously, but I didn't feel there was as much interaction, whereas this year, you guys really took it to the people in the park and really made us feel like we needed to take notice of what you guys were doing. You know, yeah, these rides are amazing, and that's what the majority of people have come for. But actually, while you're here, look at this. You know, this is amazing as well. And it was backed up by the energy and the performance levels. I mean, I could sit here and praise you guys all night. I really could. For, you know, everything that's happened. Thorpe Park staff, as far as I'm concerned, can't put a foot wrong. I actually don't think I've had a bad day at the park this season, and it's been the season where I spent the most time at the park, and yet I don't think I've got a complaint about a single day. So, you know, but yeah, interaction wise, obviously I was privy to that right back in the Thrill Maker days with Vanessa, and you know, and then yeah, just getting to know you guys, and then yeah, it's just been great. My earliest memory of you, Jen, actually, I've got to share this. It's quite funny.
Okay.
Was I came to park one day with a friend of mine, Abby, and she was carrying these bits of toilet paper, and I was like, "Why are you carrying toilet paper?" And she said to me, "It's National Toilet Paper Day," and I went, "It's what?" And she said, "Oh yeah, Jen, who does Black Mirror, does all these national days, and today's National Toilet Paper Day." and it happened to be the day before my birthday. And I said, and I remember saying to her, I'm so glad that National Toilet Paper Day isn't the same day as my birthday, because I
It's
think I'd
not
be
your
slightly
birthday.
offended.
It's just the penultimate day before your birthday. It's all nice.
Yeah. So, and then
Yeah,
obviously,
that was a
So
fun day. She literally brought me that toilet paper that said Happy National Toilet Paper Day from Abby. And I was,
Aw.
working at Black Mirror, and I was still in character. I was just like, thank you, participant, and just put it in my pocket. Yeah.
it must be
Yeah.
difficult sometimes when people know you so well now, because obviously we have all got to know you really, really well, to stay in character. I think there was, I think it was at the Silkstone event when I saw you, Cara, I think, and I went to obviously run over and just give you like a friendly hug, and you had to very sort of politely say to me, I can't, I'm in character, and I was like, oh, sorry. But that's how well you've allowed us to get to know you, and which is why I think you guys are loved so much this year, because you've let us into your lives, not just watching you as performers, but actually let us get to know you. And that's obviously feeds in with the interaction that we've been saying about, that we've built those relationships with you guys, and we feel like we know you. Like you're our best friends. And I think some people in the audience tonight even would say, they would describe you as their best friends. They come and tell you about their problems, and you listened and you empathized, and and I mean that's going above and beyond what you were asked to do. And I know, and I know that's true of all three of you. I know of people who've said to me, oh yeah, Jen, oh yeah, she's brilliant, I can go and talk to her about this, that, and the other. Oh, Cara, yeah, I've spoken to her about da, da, da. Oh, Vanessa, da, da, da. Literally I hear it all the time, and it's like, wow, that's something else, that you have that bond. So that is absolutely amazing, and we thank you for that, and hopefully we can build on that, and hopefully Thorpe build on that as well, because it would be a shame now to lose the momentum they've built this year by not committing to the events as much next year. And I think it's going to be a bit of a slog because of Hyperia. It's going to overshadow a lot of things, but it's also maybe an opportunity to really say, yes, brilliant new roller coaster. However, come and watch us, because the queues for that are 2 hours long. And while you're not queuing for that, you can watch us, and we're great too. So I think that's important. Talking about events, though, I'm probably going to flip backwards and forwards. I've heard a lot of rumblings about carnivals not being included on the website. Can anybody shed any light into that? Are you allowed to?
I mean, we don't get told anything,
We've got no
as
clue.
we mentioned in the one we did earlier in the season, when we get a lot of questions about Fright Night, so we're like, well, we don't know, because they don't tell us anything. We don't know anything. Technically, our contracts ended on I think like the 12th of November or something. We're no longer contracted with Thorpe Park. We're not entitled to know anything anyway. But yeah, and who knows? Maybe it was because of the low numbers for shows. Maybe it was maybe they want to do something different. Maybe they're completely changing the structure of how our events are done. There's so many things, and I've had so many like chats with people where we've just sat and we're like, Carnival's not on the list. What do we think is going on? And just speculating and having a chat, and oh, what's the word? I can't remember the word now. Not speculating, but I can't remember.
I know what you mean, and I can't think of the word either.
Yeah.
But sorry, Vanessa, were you gonna? You look like you were about to speak.
Oh no! I mean, it's a bit late now. I was gonna go back to the whole thing about how we've been able to help out people and make closer relationships with them. I was just gonna touch upon the fact that it's when life brings you down, it's so important to have your safe haven, special happy places that we have individually, and the Thorpe Park, that is the place for a lot of people, and we recognise that. So I think it's very humbling to know that we're a part of that, where we know we could make someone's day 100% better. Yeah, that's all I wanted to add to that.
No, that's a very valid point, actually, because it's been my safe haven. There's been a couple of times this year where I've been a bit down. I don't make any secret of the fact that I suffer from depression, and I know that a trip to Thorpe Park, not just the rides, but also just coming to see you guys, any of you, just to come and have a chat. I think I got the most opportunities to talk to you, Vanessa. So quite often it was offloading on you that was going on, and I apologize for that. But
No, it was offloading at all. I've always loved.
But it was
to see
great to just always come in and see those smiling faces, and and go away going, do you know what? Life's not so bad. I've had a great day. I've seen some fantastic shows. I've had a chat with Vanessa. I've had a chat with Jen. I've spoken to Luke. And I feel much better. And I know I'm not alone in that at all. As you mentioned, there's a lot of us have felt that way this year. So that has been very special. And I do think it contributes as well to why you're held in such high regard. Obviously, I know that you guys, your contracts have ended, but events for next season have been sort of announced, albeit sort of slipped into the website. You'll only know they're there if you're looking. Are you all planning on coming back next year? Do you want to tell me that? You don't have to.
I mean, I'm planning on auditioning and hopefully coming back. Definitely, it was the best.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it is an audition process. Yeah, you carry on, Cara. No.
Oh, sorry. Okay. But yeah, definitely would love to audition. Of course, they can. It depends on who else auditions and yada yada yada, and there's so many variables for it. But if they will have me back, I will always go back. No, this season was it was gosh, I don't even know how to put it into words. I had a really tough time at the beginning. I was dealing with my own mental struggles, and having my, for one, tight-knit family of the thrill makers, for one, that was everything that I needed to get me through the day. And then as that expanded, as we went throughout the season, into Mardi Gras, and then into Carnival, and then to Fright Nights, where I had my own team, it's become a home for me. And if they'll have me back next year, I will 100% be there.
That's reassuring to know that at least one of you's definitely 100% coming back.
Well, we don't know. We will audition, but
I'll have a chat.
Email.
I will be auditioning, so I would like to perform again for Thorpe Park. I don't know specifically where I'll be put or if I'm doing the whole year, but I would love to take a trip back to the island. Can I even say that anymore? The island like no other? Or is that gone?
I think it'll always. What is it? The home of feel good thrills.
Yes, that one.
That's the one. The home of
feel good thrills. We'll touch on that subject in a little while as well, because I'd like. Obviously, it's a hot topic. I'm amazed that nobody's actually brought it up yet. So we will see. How about you, Jenny? Are you planning on coming back? Would you like to come back if they'll take you?
Yeah.
Not that I can see any reason why they wouldn't.
Of course, there's many roles, but I'm intrigued to dip my toe into things, and we'll see what happens.
Because obviously you spent most of the season as a ride host, didn't you?
I mean, yeah, we do. It's like entertainment's host as the title of Black Mirror and Angry Birds 4D. So yeah, it's still a really rewarding job. I've learnt so much from it. I feel like, to be with all the guests, and it's like, you direct them, you let them know where to go. There's a performance, but I've learnt a lot about operational sides of things, and it's like the passion to like do good to help them have a better rest of their day. Like if you can answer a question, that means you're saving those guests time. They can have a longer day at Thorpe Park where they want to be. So it's
Yeah,
it's
no,
really rewarding
absolutely.
still. And yeah, this character to it. That's what I enjoy about Mirror.
Obviously, I put a poll in the live chat about Christmas, because I suppose first of all, people would love to know what you guys are doing over Christmas. I know what Vanessa's doing, and it might surprise a few people listening. I know what Jen's doing. I don't think that will surprise a few people listening. I have no idea what Kara's been up to, so I'm hoping she's going to enlighten us. So go on, Kara, let's start with you, because I have no idea what you've been up to.
Okay, so I am working at Four Kingdoms, the magical Christmas adventure. This is not appropriate for younger ears. I am working as a Santa controller. I feed the information to them. I'm breaking the magic. I'm so sorry. I feed the information to them.
You mean
throughout
he's
the
not
whole thing.
real?
No, he is real. There's just a lot of
Phew.
children, so you've got to have someone to help him remember.
Oh, my
Okay,
word, my heart was going then.
it's going pitter patter, pitter patter.
It was a bit.
But yeah, feed the information, and then I also cover all the principal actors in the show. So I'm also a swing for that. So I'm very, very busy. But having the time of my life, it's so fun. Everyone here is so wonderful. Again, I've made like a little Christmas family. Love it so much. That's what I'm doing.
Just a thing about that, actually, because it's kind of very coincidental that you're at Four Kingdoms, because the first time I ever took Gabriel, who's now, well, he'll be 8 in March, to see Santa was actually at Four Kingdoms.
Aww.
Really?
Yeah, I remember it, because I
Oh.
remember the weird Easter bunny thing that they had going on back then.
No, not now.
Is it not there anymore? I just remember thinking this is really trippy.
The show changes like every year. They do
Yeah.
something completely different.
Right.
That's what I've been told anyway. It's my first year here. But no creepy Easter bunny, although I think I have heard stories about that. It is still a bit of a wild ride, but it's fun. And yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, as I say, that bunny telling, and it was freaking children out because it knew their names, because obviously it was sort of pre-programmed. And yeah, so there were some children who were pretty freaked out by that animatronic. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it was a great event, and it was fantastic. Love to go back, but obviously now we tend to do Santa at Chessington, because Merlin, and we love Chessington as well. So that's but yeah, but it's a great place to go and visit.
We've got friends at Chessington as well. Go see Chessington as well, because we've got friends there.
Yeah. How about you, Jen? What have you been up to, and what are you doing over Christmas?
I was also going to say I'm sort of working with the big man Father Christmas as well at Lapland. So yes, where Father Christmas lives, in Lapland, recruited as a little elf. Well, not little, I'm quite a tall person, but yes, it's cute.
I just had this vision of you walking around on your knees.
I wish that would actually that would get quite tiring, but oh, amazing. Yeah.
And you're working with Luke still, aren't you?
Yes. Oh, good old Luke. Oh, hi Luke, if you're watching. Yeah, he looks after us. It's good team we got.
I'm glad to hear it. Vanessa, come on, tell us, what are you doing over Christmas, Vanessa?
Me? Oh well, I won't go into too much detail, but I'm not performing at the moment. I've just gone into my festive retail role over Christmas, but it's fun. It's funding towards different aspects of performing. That's what I'm doing. Like recently, it was just today actually. Yeah, I've taken some singing lessons because I'm planning to film a vocal reel to send off to lots of different job opportunities. I've been taking dance lessons. I'm doing all of that over this winter period. whilst I'm not performing. So that's what I'm doing at the minute.
Dance lessons.
Yeah,
Like
dance
you needed
lessons,
them.
singing lessons. You always have to stay in the game. You gotta keep on your toes, keep your mind working, your heart pumping. Gotta stay in
Evening,
it.
Kieran. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you told me what you were doing, working in retail, I think my response was, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing retail over Christmas." I used to be a retail store manager many moons ago, and I used to hate Christmas. Literally hated Christmas. It was the time when everybody becomes so rude.
Oh, was it all the Christmas music?
Oh, and the Christmas music. I remember one year we started playing Christmas music at the end of October, and we had so many complaints that in the end, head office stepped in and took away the Christmas music. Store managers were complaining, customers were complaining, and yeah, thankfully they listened and took it away until December. But yeah, it was absolutely crazy. And of course, it's the same CD on a loop, the same 20 Christmas songs, and yeah, by the end of a 10-hour day of trading, you're just like, please, no more. You know, you'd be whamageddoned at least 3 times a day.
I'm already out.
In a way,
I have
I still am dancing
I'm
and
so
singing.
disappointed. Whamageddon. Yeah, Whamageddon at home. Yeah. Last Christmas by Wham. See how long you can try not to hear that song, but I'm sure most of you are out.
Oh, what if
everywhere.
I just decided to sing it right now and get everyone out of the game?
I'll be
it's
singing
because
with
it's you singing it.
It's got to be the original version. You
Oh,
can
it's
sing
gotta
it
be
or you
Wham.
won't
Oh,
cover.
okay.
But feel free to have a sing if you wish. We'd all love
No,
to hear you sing.
that's fine. That's fine. You've heard me enough.
Last Christmas. We can go.
No, we are live tonight. It's a one-off show. So, but thank you for joining us. I can't remember. Beth, I think it's Beth. Yes, Coastalytical. Thank you for joining. It's lovely to see you. I was actually whamageddoned at Legoland of all places.
Hey.
Places. I was whamageddoned at Legoland. And it was as I was leaving, which made it even harder to take. I came round past, I don't know if you know Legoland, how well you know it. You know the Ferrari build and race place?
Yeah.
As I came round there, it was blaring out of their speaker. And I went, no.
Yeah, they do love to play their Christmas music. They have a Christmas radio, I think.
Yes. I
Yeah.
think they do,
I
don't
was
they?
there.
Yes.
I was there for a fair few years. I've done many a Christmases at Legoland. Many a years at Legoland, just all in all.
We had to cut our visit slightly short because poor little Elijah, bless him, was getting frostbite. It was so cold, so we had to skip that one and cut our visit a little bit short. But it was, I mean, it was lovely, and it was very well decorated, and you know the Santa sleigh thing was amazing. But yeah, it was freezing cold, and we we didn't enjoy it quite so much as we would have liked. But we're off to Chesington this weekend, actually. So looking forward to a warmer experience at Chesington, if nothing else. And we're going to be going to see Santa. I need to give him my list so he knows what I want. But yeah, so that was the Whamageddon for me. If anybody in the chat is still in the Whamageddon thing, please let us know, because it would be great to hear. Obviously, we were talking about Christmas, and I've had a number of conversations with Archie, who obviously you all know, about Christmas at Thorpe Park and whether it would be a good idea, and if so, what it might look like. Just looking at the quick poll that I ran in the live chat, we had 25 people voted, and 88%, I'm just going to end that poll now, 88% said that absolutely Thorpe Park should do a Christmas event. how do you guys feel about that? Do you think it would work at Thorpe Park?
I okay. I would love it because I would love to work there all season, all throughout the year. It would be so good, but I can understand why they don't. One, the roller coasters can't run under a certain temperature. So obviously on those days where it gets really cold, people could turn up and there would be no rides available to them. And second, our age bracket that I say we as if am Thorpe Park, the age bracket that Thorpe Park.
You are.
I am at this point. You know what? Yes, I am. I am Thorpe Park. uh, the age bracket we aim for are not the age where going to see Santa and doing all that magical kind of Christmassy stuff is really their vibe. If you think about the majority of people that come to Thorpe Park on a day-to-day basis, that is not what they're doing. They're not going to Chessington. They're not going to Four Kingdoms. They're not going to Legoland. They're not going to Lapland for Christmas, unless they're going for the rides at Chessington and Legoland. Although Legoland is a completely different age bracket anyway. I feel like, yes, I would love it. And if they did do it, I would. But I can also understand why they don't.
How about you, Vanessa? Do you think it would be a good idea?
I think Thorpe Park would just have to do the same thing that they've done with every event, which is make it their own, which is why everything has worked so well. So it would very much be, let's say there wouldn't necessarily be your traditional Santa Claus, which is usually aimed at the younger kids to go and see, but we'd have a Grinch sort of character where, he's much more playful, a bit like funny, rude. I think that would work very well. And we could very much do like our own sort of, not panto, but panto-like thing, again, for that specific age bracket. So I think that's the direction that Thorpe Park would have to take if we were to do a Christmas event.
How about you, Jen? What do you think?
Yeah, that's really good ideas so far, and it's hard to top that, really. I'm just like, well, I understand why they haven't done it also, because it's like it's not just, we don't want it to be, we'll go all for it if we're like doing it, not just like if it's going to carry on between events. Do you know what I mean? It needs to, and also we want the quality of the other events, like Fright Nights. Maybe they'd have less time to plan Fright Nights. It's like so many people working behind the scenes. You want to make sure that other events are up to scratch. But I can see it. I see, like, the Grinch should be good, and having, well, just snow effects, snow. I think that would be, it's almost like a foam party, isn't it? Like other parks have done that.
Yes.
But, yeah. It would have snow party lights, blue lights maybe. Just a thought.
When obviously I was talking about this, and obviously we touched on the whole, it's not the kind of place you'd come to see Santa, and I said, my thinking on that was, okay, but the age bracket that Thorpe appeals to don't want to go and see Santa, but they're still Christmas people. So what about, excuse me, a Thorpe Park spin on Christmas? What's Thorpe Park most famous for? What do we know is the best seller at Thorpe Park? And it's Fright Nights, it's horror, it's scares. Could we put a Thorpe Park twist on Christmas? Could we remix some traditional Christmas songs into a stage show that would fit with the contemporary dancing that we know is popular at the park? And I also said about including a scare maze. Now, Dave will tell you, who's in the chat, Dave's Adventures. He goes to a Christmas scare maze at Walsall. And it appears to be incredibly popular. And in fact, he's literally just commented, as I've said that, look, he's just commented there about it. And I floated the idea. I don't know if you've seen the film Krampus.
I haven't seen it, but I know it.
Yeah, which is obviously Santa's evil ulterior ego, if you like, or alter ego. And I said, wouldn't it be great to do a scare maze based around the Krampus legend? So you're putting Thorpe Park's spin on Christmas. So the people that would come to Thorpe Park for Christmas wouldn't be coming for nicey Santa. They'd be coming for what they come to Thorpe Park for: a thrill, a scare, the dancing. And I just, that was my idea, was scrap the traditional nicey Christmas. And I even said we could even call it Thorpe Park Christmas is cancelled, and just take that spin on it. And I think it would work so well. I'd be there, absolutely 100%, because it'd be something more for me rather than me going to other parks for Santa for the children, which, obviously as a parent you do that, and that's great and it's lovely. And the other parks are lovely and they're well decorated and it's beautiful. But that would be great, I think. I understand about the roller coaster situation, although I believe that some of them could actually operate in the colder temperatures. There are obviously ones that can't. I know Stealth, for example, being an intermin, doesn't like the cold. And I think Colossus would struggle as well. But I don't know that. I think the B&Ms, which is obviously Swarm and Inferno, might be able to operate in colder temperatures. And of course, we've got Flying Fish and Walking Dead. Dave, are you like psychically connected to me tonight or something? Because literally, I'm thinking these things and you're typing them. So that was my idea, and I think it would be brilliant, and it would give.
I've also
the other.
just seen
Sorry,
something.
go on.
I just have to say this. I thought this, and then someone typed it in the chat as well. Creature Krampus, and
Yeah,
it just got me a little bit.
Hey.
I just thought
Creature
of like,
Krampus.
how the Grinch Stole Christmas, it could be like a carnival comeback where we have how Rusty stole Christmas and have the mice turn as their own versions of elves.
yeah.
That would
Well, I think
slay.
you could have a couple of different themes, couldn't you? You could, and because obviously, like we do at Fright Nights, we have trailers, survival games, Stitches. Stitches, I think, would lend itself to a Christmas scare maze perfectly.
Yeah, it would do really well.
Come and get. Yeah, exactly. And would it take much to overlay it? I think it would probably be quite an easy conversion. You could probably keep a lot of the scares in that were already there and just put a bit of tinsel. Merlin would love that because it'd be cheap. But yeah, so I think Christmas at Thorpe Park could be a great idea, and I'm actually quite surprised that they've not bought into it yet. And maybe next time I see Jack or and co, I need to have a chat and say, come on, we want more Thorpe.
Who knows? Because they're changing so much in the season coming. Who knows what they could do? Everything's changing at the minute.
The other one that's been it's been talked about for years, I know, and it's still being talked about, of course, thinking about Fright Nights, is about making Fright Nights a completely separate event to the park. A bit like, do you know Halloween Horror Nights at Universal?
I know it, never been.
So what they do is they shut the park at 5 o'clock. Or around that sort of time, and they kick everybody out, and then they reopen the park about an hour later, only for people who want to come for the Halloween event. That way, the people who want to be there and have some sort of Halloween experience but don't want to be scared can come during the day, and then you have a separate ticket for the evening. And by buying that ticket, you're agreeing to being scared and being chased and being, the full-on Halloween experience, if you like. And I just think it would work so much better because you see these complaints. I mean, I don't know if any of you are in the Merlin pass holders Facebook groups or anything like that. Constantly the complaints about, I took my 3-year-old to Thorpe Park and they were chased by a crow. Well, you took your 3-year-old to Thorpe Park during Fright Nights. How sensible was that?
Yeah.
But it would eliminate that.
Yeah, I see that. But at the same time, there are announcements throughout the park when it gets to like coming up to 3 o'clock, where it's like the Fright Nights is about to begin. I mean, I've heard it walking to the first show of Creature Campus, where
The toy
and
maker
it's
making
letting you
her
know. Yeah, she makes her announcement that Fright Nights is about to begin. It's this whole thing, and honestly, I understand the closing it and it being a separate thing, but I feel like people would be really upset with that because it would cost more money to buy your ticket for the day and then buy a ticket for the Fright Nights, but you're already there, so it doesn't really make sense. And then you've got to pay extra for the mazes, and also it would mean less time actually scaring, because I don't think we would open up past 9 o'clock anyway. So yeah, I can see how it would work, but again, it's my thing's disconnected.
Yeah, I think it might even lower the numbers if it were to happen like that, where people would come to a event, a normal park day, which would happen the same throughout the entire year, to then be separated for a Fright Night specific part. Because obviously, as a business, they have to make it accessible to as many people as possible, to try and get ticket numbers high. So I'd be worried that it would damage the attraction of people that would come if you were to separate the two.
I think there's massive pros and cons to both arguments. I think for me, I'd like to see it, because I think it would be great knowing that the scares could be elevated then to something similar to. I made a visit to a Scream fear attraction called the Howl, and the scares in there were just like serious. It was really, really, full on scares. And I just thought Thorpe Park could never do it to this level because of the mixed audience that they've got. They've got to keep it at a certain level, but if they separated it out, they could take it again to that next level. Would that generate more interest from a different customer? I don't know. I guess it's for them to sort of have a look at that as a business. I think it would be good, but I can see the arguments both ways about that. Like you say about if you've bought your ticket for the day, and then somebody's telling you at 5 o'clock you've got to leave, but if you want to come back, you've got to have another ticket. I think I think you'd include the mazes in that ticket though. If you were going to do it, you wouldn't charge separately for mazes anymore. You would say that's your entry ticket for everything included in the event, because otherwise, I totally agree. You wouldn't buy a ticket and then have to pay mazes as well again. So I don't think that would work at all. But again, it's sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess you could see this part of that scenario being a pro, because then a lot of the times people complain that on the busy days for Fright Nights, people aren't able to get many rides in because of the queue times, and therefore they'll only get into one maze. So actually maybe that could, in some sense, it could work, because then you'd have the normal Thorpe Park opening day where people could get all of their rides and food hour out of the way and then leave Fright Nights for the end of the night. So that could definitely be a pro.
As I say, I think it's a conversation that's obviously happened, and we've seen it at Universal, and it's very successful. It would involve a big change, and a massive restructuring of the event, I think. So maybe it would be too big to do. I don't know. But as I say, for me, I'd like to see it, but I get it's not going to work for everybody. So yeah. As far as obviously next year is concerned, as we obviously were talking about that, what would you say you're most excited about for next year? Because there's so much changing at the moment. It's going to be so different when we reopen, when those gates reopen in March. Even without Hyperia at that point, the park's going to look so different.
So much to think about.
I know.
Like Thrill Makers might not even be the same.
They might not be there. Who knows?
Yeah.
I think as exciting as Hyperia is, what's excited me the most is Project Sparkle. Because I think one of the biggest criticisms I've had of the park as a whole over the years is that it just looked a bit tired and a bit dilapidated. And we had all these wonderful events going on last year, which brightened it up massively, but against a rather tired old backdrop. So to see that they're actually now going through the park and rejuvenating almost everything by the looks of it, I think that's really exciting to see what that does and how that drives the park forward.
Sorry to be in the dark with this. What's Project Sparkle?
I'm really excited for.
Sorry.
Sorry, Vanessa. So Project Sparkle is what Thorpe Park have undertaken to basically rejuvenate the entire park. They're repainting everything, including Colossus. That's the major one at the moment. All the tracks been repainted. The station. They're building a new bridge over Tidal Wave. And there's new recycling stuff going into place, and just it's a massive undertaking of, like, literally as I say, rejuvenation is the only word I can use for it. It's like everything.
Is that to do with? I've seen the concept photos for what they're changing with Angry Birds Land. Is that included in that?
I was gonna say, I think it's gonna be called. I think it's called Big Easy Boulevard. I think that's something I'm really excited for, because since Thrill Makers 2022, there's been a lot of we all felt like Angry Birds was so out of place. Obviously, that's just us having a chat and a bit of we didn't feel like it was relevant anymore, and it'd be cool to see it be something different. So coming out of this season, and all of a sudden there's this announcement that, like, yeah, Angry Birds is leaving. Bye, which turns out that's what the migration card was from Carnival. None of us knew that. And
yes.
And I'm really excited to see that. And again, like I said, we don't get told anything. You can tell I'm getting excited now. We don't get told anything, and this is just like the speculations that I've had talking to people. But the idea that Mardi Gras is coming back, and with Big Easy Boulevard looking like something like, I think they mentioned they want it to be like a New Orleans street vibe. I would love to see Mardi Gras happening in that area, if that is what's bound to happen, because I feel like it will just fit so like perfect in that area, and there's already going to be a party vibe going. And bringing Mardi Gras into that, and the parade is just going to be like this absolute. Again, I don't know what's happening with Mardi Gras. I don't know what's happening with Big Easy Boulevard, but I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
I just think it's brilliant that they've obviously they've ripped out Angry Birds, because let's face it, we were all tired of Angry Birds, and it was just done. It's been done for years, and they just kept plodding on with it.
I think the thing we all said was Angry Birds wasn't relevant even when it was relevant.
Yes. And I think it was
excited to work on it, but yeah, cool.
it was relevant to the wrong demographic.
If you saw it at Chessington or Legoland, absolutely not Thorpe Park.
Agreed. Totally agreed. But you're right, Jen. It was fun, and it did provide something for, obviously people like me who come with family, with younger children. It did provide something for them, but it had lost its relevance. That was the problem, I think. And you kind of got the feeling they were counting down for the rights to use the Angry Bird theme to run out, so they could rip it out, because they'd obviously paid for it for 10 years, and that ran out this year. So I think it was a case of they were counting down for that, because they knew they wanted to rip it out. I think it's a bold move, not replacing it with another well-known theme, and actually just going for a unique, like, own brand theme, if you like. But I do like the concept art. It does look exciting.
It's a new 4D theatre. It's still going to be a 4D
I think
show. What were you saying, Vanessa?
I think they're really trying to I feel like they're really trying to pull away from the IPs. We lost Darren Brown's Ghost Train, and now it's just Ghost Train. No longer Angry Birds. That kind of stuff. I feel like, and I think they explained this in the video, that the 3-part series that they did, where there was one point where they were all IP, all IP, all IP. This is what works. This is the algorithm. And I feel like now they're trying to put their own stamp on it and be like, no, this is our park. This is what we want to bring, and we don't need to rely on other brands and intellectual properties to do that. We can create our own thing. And I think that's so cool. I would have loved to have seen, and I know everyone loves a 4D show, but I would have loved to have seen the 4D theatre become an indoor stage area. As someone who has been performing in the rain since Platform 15 End of the Line 2021, it would be really nice to have an indoor stage area. But
that's
obviously
the Christmas panto. That's what
that's the Christmas panto. That's what it is. But everyone loves a 4D show, and I guess they've already got the seats and the programming and everything like that. Like, it would be a lot to change that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like you say, though, I think moving away from IPs is the right move, because actually, when you think about the most popular, other than Saw, obviously, for obvious reasons, when you think about the most popular ride sort of theming in the park, it's the Swarm, which is a unique theming. Inferno, which is a unique theme. It's not based on any IP.
Stealth, the whole Stealth Plaza.
Absolutely. And Tidal Wave, they link in really well together, and it's that American feel, which obviously Big Easy Boulevard will carry through.
So happy. It's all going to be connected now.
It's all actually going to be connected. Yeah, you're not going to have to walk from Amity through Angry Birds Land to get back into Amity. It's now going to be all sort of linked, and I think that's gonna be magical. And I think it's I can't believe it's taken so long for somebody to go, we should connect this up, and run this theme through. But again, I suppose if you've paid for a license for 10 years, you're not going to be inclined to get rid of it before it runs out. Do we think that The Walking Dead will be the next one to get the chop?
I was just thinking of that one. Yeah, it might. I mean, when did the show end? Was it last year, or it was only just recently? I think.
I think it was longer ago. I thought it was more like 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, out of the IPs that are left at the park, which I think is just Walking Dead and Saw, they're more likely to redo The Walking Dead than they are Saw.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Saw's still popular because of the Saw theme, isn't it?
Bring back X No Way Out. Bring it back.
Do you know what? I agree. Have it going backwards again. That would be brilliant.
Yes, that
Um,
was so good. That was my childhood.
yes, Tom actually saying here about hearing rumors about a return of X No Way Out. I've heard those rumors myself. I don't know that going backwards is Thorpe's style, though. That's the problem. I feel like at the moment they're all about going forwards, so I can't see them bringing something back like that.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't do that. But something like that would be cool.
How do you feel about Walking Dead, Jen?
Yeah, I think it's really fun. I don't think it's had its day yet. I think it's like, we just keep vibing with it. It's good IP.
I don't know whether it's whether we're already getting to a point where there's a generation who don't know what that TV program is, and whether actually that's going to be the problem soon. That people are going to come in and going to go, The Walking Dead, what's that? I don't know what that is, because it ended and it just very quickly disappeared, didn't it? It was massive, and then it ended, and then it disappeared. I don't know where. Obviously, there's a new Saw film just come out, so that's going to completely revive the Saw excitement again. And I think there's a great argument for bringing back Saw Alive, with linked in with Saw X, isn't it? I think was the new film.
Yeah.
I think that could be something to think about. I think as well, this is a very valid point somebody's put. Walking Dead would be better if it had actors in it all the time.
Yeah. Anyone else want to touch on that? I feel like I've spoken a lot.
No, not at all. So, I mean, just as me coming to the park as a guest, me bringing in my friends, like, I mean, it's a ride you should go on if you've not done it before, because, I mean, it's fun riding in the dark, and you won't get that experience unless you come to the park on Fright Nights, and Fright Nights can be very busy if you're going there specifically to ride on a ride in the dark. But after you've done it for a few times, you know what it is, unless there are actors in there. And last time when I came in as a guest, I literally asked if there were any actors in there on the day, because otherwise, if there weren't, then I was just gonna let it go, because we know what it's all about there. But yeah, I mean, come on, you're walking through a cafeteria where there's walkers in there. And sorry, is that a spoiler for people who've not? That's a spoiler for someone who's not gone. Sorry. But that's
They don't know where the cafeteria is till they're in it.
Yes. But it
And by then it's too late.
In there, it just adds to the excitement. It just brings up a whole nother level when you have this, the walkers in there. And me being part of Fright Nights the previous year, I happened to have the privilege of being a walker on Walking Dead the ride, and I had the most time scaring. People are terrified of the walkers every time. But yeah, to have them in there all the time, I think that's definitely a thing to try and work through with the Ents team, with hiring and making sure we have enough people in to cover that role, because at the same time we're covering the events, which is when we have most of our Ents team in, such as Carnival, and we have not only us, but we also have the wonderful Bozos who are in as well.
I think you're right. I think it becomes a bit of it's a staffing issue, isn't it? It's is it worth sort of hiring the extra staff to make sure it's covered all the time?
I mean, they tried that I think they tried that this year. They tried hiring more people for it, but ultimately people get sick, and when it comes between having enough people on Ghost Train, which is fully actor led, and having people on Walking Dead, where it's mainly a roller coaster, and the experience is almost, obviously not as good, but almost just as good doing it. You still get the roller coaster, you still have the flashing lights and the theming and everything, as you do in most of the rides anyway, and making sure that Ghost Train is fully staffed. It is a starter thing issue, but all in all, you got to do what you got to do.
Yes, I think I remember one carnival day that I came to Park, and there'd been some massive bug had literally ripped through the Ents team. And I think it was you actually, Cara, that told me about it, because I came over to talk to you and you went, "I'm really sorry, but literally we've got so many people off sick today. I just can't stop. I've just got to go because I've got to sort this out." And I went, "Oh God, that sounds really bad." And yeah, there was nobody in Walking Dead. I think there was like 3 members of staff in Bozos. It was bare bones as far as that cut those sort of entertainments
Yeah,
crew were
it was.
concerned.
Yeah, we had a lot
And I
of
get
really rough days during Carnival where everyone was just getting sick, really. Like even times where Finn and Jesse, I don't know how many times Jesse jumped into a mime costume. It was a lot. And there were days I wasn't there, I wasn't in the country when this happened, but there were days where like fully Bill was cut from the show because they just didn't have enough people to do it all.
yes,
It's crazy.
yeah,
Pauline.
and I think and it's always Walking Dead that sacrifices. In that instance, if there's actors in Walking Dead, that will always be the first sacrifice, and I
First
understand
thing to
it.
go
It is
because it
what
has
it
the
is. Like,
least impact.
Yeah, but I suppose the message it sends out to people who know that is that the park doesn't see Walking Dead as important, and I
It's
don't
really
know
sad
that
because
then
it is.
has a ripple effect of, if you're sending out that message as a park, that message is then going to spread through. Oh, don't bother with Walking Dead. Chances are there won't be any actors in anyway. Even though they committed, as you said rightly, I remember them saying, "Yeah, we're going to make sure there's live actors in there all the time." But as soon as sickness happened, out they
Yeah.
came, and they were redeployed. And
Yeah.
like I said, I do understand it, but what the message it sent out was Walking Dead isn't important,
Yeah.
and it's a real shame.
It's
But I don't
definitely
know what the answer is.
definitely a hard decision they have to make on the day, where it's either keep something open with low numbers to try and make sure that they have as much to offer still to the public as possible, or they close a few things to make sure that this big event is top priority, to make sure that it's making the most impact. It's one of the two.
I don't think it was even to do with the events because we were very separate teams. I think it was mainly when it comes to Walking Dead anyway, it was mainly Ghost Train. And the aim that they have, and this was the aim every year, I know it was last year anyway as well, was that Walking Dead is meant to have actors in it on the weekends, school holidays, bank holidays, that kind of stuff, those higher budgeted days, because they have a higher budget for actors. And then during the week where schools are open, there aren't any actors in there, which I think already then sends the message that it isn't like not as important, but it's not higher on their priorities list.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think that is the message that it does send out, is that unless it's busy enough that it's likely to get busy, we don't prioritize it. It's the sacrificial lamb, if you like, that we'll allow it to be slaughtered. But thinking about obviously rides that have very mixed feelings about them. Jen, obviously you're Black Mirror, and I've got to be honest and say Black Mirror has been open 2-3 years?
3, I think.
3 years, and this year was the first
2021.
time I'd ever done Black Mirror. I'd heard such mixed opinions about it. Do you think the park's doing enough to push it? Because it's actually a really good experience. I came out going, why have I never tried this before? it messes with your head big time. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but it does mess with your head. But I came out going, why have I waited this long to try this attraction out? Do you think that they maybe need to do a bit more to push it and make it, because it opened to great accolade and then kind of got killed off almost?
Well, it's interesting. There's lots of different sides to it. It's like, there's a lot happens in there. Again, I'm trying not to give spoilers, but there's a board like all the rides where you check if it's for you, and we'll have all the big events going on. Mardi Gras. Sorry, I think I lost you then. But yes, I just said I think they could be pushing it a bit more, but we can only do what we do. And when we stand at the front, there's all.
Oh, I think we've temporarily lost Jen.
Oh dear.
I think her internet's
Jen.
has kicked her out. Come back, Jen. All's forgiven.
Come back, Jen.
I think I agree with Jen that actually they do need to
You went off
signpost. Welcome back.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Jen.
We do we've got on the light up signs around, and then we stand at the front of the attraction. When you're seeing someone in a sort of army sort of suit, it's sort of like a labyrinth, like gosh, you 90% chance someone's going to come and ask what is this about or something. It's like, and then I'm happy.
It's very unique.
Information. It's in a good. I'd say the location it's all right. It's like people still find it, and also if you go on the app, you just see everything. There's no chance of missing attraction at Thorpe, so you'll just see what queue time it has, and then read about it. And it's just up to people if they can get it into their day, of course.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it is also about people finding things for themselves sometimes. Is the ride open when you're stood outside and the massive sign says closed?
That comment.
Honestly, I remember I worked on it a couple of times in 22, and the amount of times I'd be stood there and the sign would say closed, you'd have the chain, and people would walk past me, climb over the chain and start walking into the queue. Like,
yeah.
What are you doing? Like,
yeah,
I'm not here for no reason.
I don't get these people. Why would you think that that's acceptable? There's a chain for a reason, It's a barrier, guys. Barriers are not to be crossed.
This isn't a parkour course.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
It's a very different kind of labyrinth.
So obviously, considering the entire offering, both flat, attraction, and roller coaster, if I had to put you on the spot and say, right, Nick, you've got to choose one thing to get rid of from Thorpe Park.
Oh, I've got mine.
What would you lose? Kara's gunning here. Mine. She's got a list. She's got a list of them. I'll get rid of that. I'll get rid of that.
The flat ride. The flat ride. The flight.
Any flat ride. Any flat ride or roller coaster or attraction.
Oh, any one. Oh, okay.
Black Mirror.
Oh, I get rid of oh my gosh, Samurai. I hate it. I hate it so much. And Detonator. I hate them so much. No, I hate them so much. Detonator, I can't feel my stomach for a good 3 hours after it. And Samurai is a ragdoll simulator, and I hate it so much. I love a roller coaster. I could do Saw all day, easy, no questions asked.
Oh,
but Samurai, no, not for me at all.
How about you, Vanessa?
Sorry.
No, it's brilliant. I like it that you feel so strongly about that. That's
Um,
I don't agree, but it's great that you feel so strongly.
I've got 2 points to touch. One, I'm just going to detonator. That's more of like a personal preference. I feel. Me personally, I would never go on detonator because I hate the idea of just a drop. I've said this to a lot of guests actually when I've been trying to make conversation and give them ride recommendations. I've said no, I want my stomach to stay inside my body, thank you. So I would never go on detonator. But a ride that I think should go, I really dislike Colossus. Actually, I know it's a big one.
I love
I agree
Colossus.
with you. Actually, I've had.
no.
I'm sorry.
You know, the odd. It depends what day it is.
The seating. All I get is I can't handle it. It takes away the fun experience
bumpy.
of the ride. I can't concentrate. My head just bashes against the
Put your head
head
forwards.
restraint.
Put your head forwards. Put your head forward.
See,
You don't feel it
Does
at
it
all.
go-
That's what I
go
did.
back? Does it go forward?
Wait. As a guest,
Sorry.
though, I wouldn't want to have to think about how I'm sitting on a ride to be able to enjoy it. I want to just sit and experience what's been made for me. You know. That's
Yeah, I get that. I don't agree, but I get what you're saying. But it is about riding it with your head forward. It's ignore what the soundtrack says about head back and brace yourself. No, don't do that on Colossus. It's the worst mistake you can make. Head forward and then and brace yourself is much more comfortable. Sick at Flamingo Land, which is obviously Colossus without the overhead restraints, is so much nicer because you don't have to worry about where your head is because there's nothing to bang it on. And it's much better. So I think they should take the overhead restraints off Colossus, and put some new trains on it, and I think that would make a big difference. But yeah, I do love Colossus. Jen, how about you? What would you get rid of?
Well, if I'm pushed, I was thinking one. Obviously, I don't know how often it gets used, but you know, the little high striker. Would we be all right for losing that? It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's there, but why is it there?
Do you know, I think, Jen, the high striker sends out a mixed message and the wrong mixed message. When we had
Do you have to have
Old
a child
Town,
to go on it? Yeah.
when we had Old Town and we had Timber Tugboat, High Striker, and Rocky Express, it was an area that was seemed dedicated to younger children, and that was fine. The park obviously then made the statement that we don't want that anymore. When we appreciate we're not a family park, we're a thrill park, so we're going to get rid of all our family rides except for High Striker, and we're going to dump it right in the middle of the park in the most random location.
So random.
It is.
You know, it literally looks to me like they went around the park going, where will it fit? Where will it fit? Oh, we'll just put it there. You know, and it's just, yeah. And it sends out a mixed message.
I think for High Striker, it felt like for me as an actor working there at the time, it was being put somewhere for Carnival, and it was like to go along with because Carnival was a new event last year. That I was like, oh, we've also got this new Carnival themed ride, which is just a smaller version of the Scarab Bouncers at Legoland.
Yeah, it's a singular treetop hopper from Chessington, isn't it? Basically, and I just think it was such a random move because, as I say, the statement they put out was literally, we're not a family park and we're going to stop trying to be that now. And then not only did they keep High Striker and randomly dump it, but then they built a park that was very much aimed at younger children. And I just sort of went, Cara's about to enlighten us about something here.
I've spoken so much, but I'll speak again.
Right. We like listening to you.
You're the only one. But I think the park was a good idea in the terms of the beach was meant to be the place that families could go when they have little kids and they can't do the rides, but the beach is not always open. And I feel like adding the park was a really good idea of still having that place that, hey, bigger kids, go do the rides. I'm going to stay here with your little siblings, and they can play in the park while you go do the rides, and they're still entertained. Because I tell you what, the amount of people, especially in 2022, that came up to me and was like, my child is too small to do any of the rides, and then we were going to go on the beach, and our whole day's ruined because the beach is closed. I'm like, well, I can't help you.
Yeah. I think, as I said, for me, it just sent out a bit of a mixed message again. And I do think if you're going to keep High Striker, then that maybe actually locating High Striker behind Depth Charge would have been a better idea, and put it near the park.
Yeah.
And create more of a sort of younger person's area there. I think would have for me would have been great. If I was to get rid of a ride, and I'm amazed that nobody's touched on it actually, I would be getting rid of those bloody Dodgems.
No,
Dodgems,
I love the Dodgems.
Dodgems do not belong at a theme park for me. They are a fairground ride.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, I think
I agree with that.
It's a big ride that potentially is occupying space that a better ride could occupy. And I think actually what Shells is saying here about I forgot about the Dodgems, that's how it's survived so long. The park's forgotten it's there. I swear to God, because why else would you keep it? And I think the same is true at Chessington. I say it about Tuk Tuk Turmoil as well. Get rid of it. Get rid of them. They're not theme park rides. They are.
Does that go then for the teacups as well?
See, I think the teacups feels more permanent. It doesn't feel like a traveling fair ride. But I get it. I get the argument with that as well. Yes, potentially you would lose that too, because but I think the teacups going would be less popular than getting rid of the Dodgems. Just looking at the reaction straight away as soon as you mentioned getting rid of the teacups, a couple of people have just jumped in and gone no. So I think.
Sorry, I feel like teacups is like an iconic.
Well, after all the work with the retheming.
Yeah. What was that? Sorry.
I agree. Yeah, no.
I just feel like they're a classical ride. They feel like an older ride that fits into a theme park rather than the Dodgems, which they're the bumper cars that you find that are at a fun fair, but not so much teacups. I feel like the teacups would still fit, and like you say, it's more of like a permanent feature. Which is why I don't really think they'd be quite the same thing to discuss over which one goes.
Yeah, I think so. I think teacups is a bit more nostalgic. Yeah. It's harking back to where Thorpe came from with that when it's had those kind of rides. But I don't think Dodgems is. I just think Dodgems is a ride that's been put in to eat up queues. But I don't know that it works particularly well, and I just think it looks out of place. That again, personal opinion. It's in the same way that, you know, Vanessa's incorrect opinion about Colossus, and Kara's incorrect opinion about Samurai. So, you know, but you know, it's personal, isn't it? These things are very personal. I suppose. No, Dave, we're not getting rid of Mr. Monkeys. Absolutely not. That is iconic.
Talk about, you know, keeping Thorpe Park a legacy.
Exactly. Mr. Monkeys is absolutely legacy, isn't it? It can never go anywhere. It was gutting that it was not operating for half of the season. And I got so excited when I saw it testing one day that I was just like, yes, Mr. Monkeys is coming back. We've just lost Kara. Kara's just run off.
Oh, okay.
but it's not a pirate ship, Tom. That's the thing, and that's what people have got to stop comparing it to. It's not a pirate ship. It's Mr. Monkey's Banana Ride.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, if you compare it to a pirate ship, yeah, it is a crap pirate ship. I get that, but it's not a pirate ship. It is Mr. Monkey's Banana Ride, and I think that is definitely a legacy ride, isn't it? I don't know where Kara's gone. She appears to have completely disappeared. I don't know whether maybe her phone's died or something.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
I think obviously we need to move on to the hot topic at the moment, and I'm going to try and pin you guys down on this. The new logo.
Whoa!
Where do we start, guys? Where do we start? I mean, do you like it?
It's clean cut.
And that's about as positive as I could be about it as well.
Well, I mean, with these things, no, in a positive light, you have to try not to compare it to the old logo, because that's it now. The whole point is to move on and create something new. So I think it'd be unfair to compare it too much to the logo. But I will say what works so well about the previous logo was because I thought, well, what do you think about when you think of theme parks? And it's roller coasters. And that infinity sign was very much a hint at roller coasters, which is why I think it worked so well. So I think it's just a shame that with this new logo, I don't really feel like... I feel like it's been stripped of some sense of character that I think Thorpe represented. That's just missing. But then again, it's exciting to see where Thorpe Park takes their branding, because I think they've got further to explore in showing off what they have that's new and upcoming.
I got
it doesn't reveal too much.
Yeah. Sorry, Jen, go for it.
Sorry, I was going to say I got that to do with the branding, the O in the Thorpe word is like it's that meant to be an I for thrill seekers, so it's like at least a reference in seeking thrills. I was like, okay, so there's some way of it. It's working. It's like, yeah, it's modern, and everything takes time to get used to, but
I just
yeah,
I don't hate the logo.
Get it. Move on.
I just don't think it's fit for purpose.
Oh.
I think it's you know, if I was looking for for branding for, I don't know, for a new product on the market or something. Oh, Kara's back. Yay, she's back.
Kara.
We've moved on to the burning topic, Kara, of that amazing new logo. Yeah, to me, if I saw that logo, I wouldn't think thrills, theme park. You know, I've seen it compared to Tesco Value. I've seen it compared to This Morning and Loose Women. You know, none of those things say to me about a home of feel-good thrills. And that's what the brand is now supposed to be. And I don't think the logo supports it. I mean, I get what Sam's saying here, actually. You know, straightforward logo because the name is the brand. I do understand that. But is Thorpe Park well known enough that its name is strong enough without an iconic, recognizable logo that at least gives some inference to what it is? And I'm not convinced. As I say, I don't hate the logo. I was disappointed. And I dread to think how much they paid for somebody to do that, because, you know, I bet it's It is in the UK, and it's very much a regional park, and that's the problem, isn't it? That it's not nationally recognised. Like Alton Towers could probably trade just purely off a logo that said Alton Towers, but I don't know that Thorpe's brand is strong enough to do that, which is obviously what I think they're trying to do. But Cara, what do you feel about it?
Hi, sorry, my phone overheated. Basically,
Oh,
where I am at Four Kingdoms, there isn't any Wi-Fi to my accommodation, so I have to be on my phone. I'm trying to figure out how to connect it to my laptop, but I'm struggling. I'm guessing we're talking about the logo now.
Yep.
We've
we
moved
are.
on. Okay, so I feel like yes, I can understand why people are like it's just, the letters, it's not a logo, whatever. But from what we've seen from the concept posters that they've released, especially the Hyperia one, the idea is to incorporate the logo into into these posters and advertising, and so that it's still like, it's Thorpe Park, but this is, it's more blendable, if that makes sense. I can't speak. I'm trying to do two things at once. I can't speak English
No,
at the
no,
moment.
that's all right. No, don't worry. That's fine. See, I think that that's its weakness. The fact that it needs that Hyperia poster behind it, the fact that it needs a stealth poster behind it, it doesn't stand strong enough on its own. Whereas the Infinity logo, you could put the Infinity logo anywhere on its own, and it was strong, and it was bold. This, I just feel, is a bit wishy-washy. It's not strong. I think using pastel colors as backing isn't a very clear statement. If you're talking, for me, a thrill is a bright color. It's not a pastel color. A thrill is a bright color. It's bright orange. It's blood red. It's petrol blue. It's not purple or olive green or or burnt umber or whatever variations of backing we've got. I don't know. I don't know that it conveys anything of the message that they're trying to convey. And I just, as I say, I don't hate the logo. I just felt like it was disappointing.
It's missing that theme park thrill that the other logo had. I mean, again, I hate to compare it to other logos, but it's what you do for an artist's eyes. You get inspiration. What's great about, say, the Nike logo? It's a cut corner swooping tick. The reason why I think that's so iconic is because the way it's shaped, it's very active. You can see that there's movement in it, and it relates to the products that it sells, which is for physical activity. And that's exactly what the Infinity logo did. It gave it some character of what the park is all about, which is giving thrills on some roller coasters, which is why I explained about the Infinity sign looking like a roller coaster. And for the logo now, which, like I say, it's just been stripped of any sort of character. I don't really think it relates to the theming of what they say is meant to be giving feel-good thrills. If I got that right, feel-good thrills.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think for me, you touched on Nike there actually, and I would say that the strength of the swoosh, the tick, whatever you want to call it, is the fact that it's always been there. The lettering has changed slightly over the years, but the swoosh has always been there, and that's its strength. It's instantly recognizable. You see that swoosh, you automatically think Nike. So for me, I would have kept the Infinity, changed the lettering, absolutely. Move forward with it, but move forward with Infinity. Sorry, what was that?
The old font, it very much reminds me of Comic Sans, which is where you want to steer clear of usually. I would have thought of design.
Comic Sans is something we used to use in the nursery all the time because it's kid friendly. And Thorpe Park isn't kid friendly, not little kid anyway. So that's fine. So change the font, and I mean I've seen some fantastic designs by just amateur people that incorporated the infinity in different ways into the words. So rather than the words being on top of the infinity became part of the words. And I really liked that, and I thought that was very clever. And I thought, well, why didn't they explore that more? I get that they weren't. I don't know. Yeah, I just I don't get it. As I say,
yeah. Sorry. I was gonna say, if anything, to leave it on like a positive note with this new logo branding, I'm excited to see what they do with the new events now. Because obviously before they would incorporate the infinity sign with the events that came, so that's exciting to see this year.
And I thought that infinity link between the park's logo and the event logos worked so well, and it lent itself to every event, didn't it?
Yeah.
So easy. You know, it was an obvious backing for every event title, just in different ways. You know, Skittles with it for Carnival and that kind of feel, and
the pretzel for Oktoberfest.
The pretzel for Oktoberfest, absolutely. So I think. What's Sam saying here? I feel like if they used more of a design, they could have leaned into the island theme. Yeah, I think he's right. They could have done that definitely. But it remains to be seen. I'm open-minded to the point of I want to see it on the park. I want to see what it looks like in the park, all over the park, completely rebranded. Will we feel different about it? You know, I don't know. But that's what I'd like to see before I make a final judgment. Give it a fair crack, because, you know, it could be that I'll walk through those gates on, you know, opening weekend or whatever and go, do you know what? I see now exactly why they wanted this logo. It looks amazing in, you know, on the board for stealth, and actually it really works. Or I'm going to walk around going, it looks even worse in situ than it did as concept art. And I'm really hoping that's not the way I feel about it, because that could be tragically bad for vlogs coming from that weekend. So if anybody in the chat's got any questions, I'm conscious of the time, and I'm very grateful to Cara and her overheated phone. I hope it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I've just been trying to connect to my computer, but it won't connect. The signal here is not great.
Oh, bless you. Oh, there she is. But please, if you need to go, Cara, to let your phone cool down, please do.
No, it's fine. It's cooling down now.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, if anybody in the audience has got any questions before we wrap it up, because I can't believe it's been like nearly 2 hours already.
It's, you know,
this is normal for us.
I just, yeah, I feel like
when's our 4-hour one coming?
I think maybe we need to do this as a regular thing. Actually, we just, you know, get together.
I would.
Obviously, you, Vanessa,
I disconnected.
Oh.
It's a catch up between,
anyway,
isn't it? That's why the last one lasted, I think, about this long as well. It was just so nice to just introduce ourselves and touch upon everything that had gone on so far in the year.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I quite selfishly was really keen to do this, because I miss talking to you guys on Park, and I thought, well, I can't see you on Park, so what I'll do is I'll put a live on, and I'll grab you guys and bring you in, and then I get to talk to you for a couple of hours, and that's going to be really nice. And then other people can listen to us as well, and that's lovely. You know, and I think you know, and it's been nice to have that catch up as well, because it feels like old friends catching up. It really does.
Yeah, it does.
You know, Cara's asking for your favorite memory at Thorpe Park.
Oh,
so there's countless memories to choose from. I don't even know how you'd narrow it down.
I think
I've got one.
No, I can't. Someone else
go on, Jen.
I don't know.
I was gonna say it was quite iconic when all of us crows got to go over to Big Red and we all had a photo together.
Yes.
Oh,
That
was
actually
just
sounds
worlds
brilliant.
colliding. And also, the times where Big Red was around Thrill Makers. It's great. But yeah, when the crows just visited, there were times where just like, would just invade creature campers. We would just go to all the different when we were
I
roaming.
loved it.
It was just the best. Like,
Oh, I
I
loved
can't speak
it.
for other
Where-
crows, but it was so fun. You remember
Yeah.
on the bridge interacting? It was like, amazing.
Jen, were you
Yeah.
a crow on the day where it was the last, what was it? The last closed event day of Fright Night. Were you were you a crow on the day where you all visited Lucifer's lair and we all had a
Yes,
party? and
yes. Oh my goodness, I was
I thought you were going
there.
to talk about that day. That was just iconic.
Yes.
So the crows were on their route roaming around the park and they came to Lucifer's lair. And being that it's the last day, usually we do like to have a little bit of a party. And we just had the absolute best time dancing with the crows just in the middle of the Lucifer's lair area. And we got guests involved and it was honestly just the best. I've been trying to find it on social media to see if someone's filmed it, but I can't find it anywhere, which is a shame. But
That sounds awesome.
yeah, it was so. Oh, what do you call it?
No, I got a clip of it. I put it on.
Okay, I'll be asking that from you later then. But yeah, I thought you were gonna. Oh no, we've lost Cara again.
We
yeah,
have.
no, I thought you were gonna mention that memory. But
course,
yeah,
I
that's
meant
just
we
one
were-
of the great memories I have.
Went around
from-
all the other casts, and including that amazing party.
Obviously, Kara's asking my favorite memory. I'm not gonna lie, and I've got to be honest and say it was our little dance.
Oh, I thought you might.
Just because
might have said that.
it's stuck with me and I think it'll stick with me forever. And if you haven't seen it, it's actually on my YouTube channel, and I think it's called Dad Dancing with the Thrill Makers, is what I titled it as. But it changed so much for me, for the direction I was heading in, the things that I was prepared to do, my confidence, because I would never have danced like that publicly before. But something about that moment just inspired me, and I have to credit that to you, because and I think it was a defining moment for me of my season, and I suppose to a degree life, because I felt more confident afterwards. I was like, okay, well, if I'm prepared to do that, what else am I prepared to do, sort of thing. And I've seen the videos of how I was dancing at Silkstone, so I know how badly I was prepared to dance publicly that night. But that's got to be my favorite memory. It's going to be one of those memories that I'm never going to forget, because of, as I say, what it led to, us getting to know each other, and then getting to know Cara and Jen and Luke and Mia. And none of that, I think, Phil, would have happened the way it did had it not been for that moment. That was one of those moments, those sort of sliding door moments, wasn't it? Where if I hadn't have danced, I would have gone off back into my little obscurity. Because I did it, it went the other way, and yeah, that's my favorite. That's absolutely my favorite moment, and I will cherish that moment. And I think if you're back next year and you're a thrill maker, we've got to reenact it.
Yes.
I think that would be.
No, I will even teach you some of the choreography. Actually, we'll go further.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If you can make it idiot proof, we're on. We'll definitely be there for that. I'm going to try and add Cara back in. She's behind the scenes, but I don't know if she's actually there. Oh no, we've got no camera.
Hello,
Cara.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Back. You're back.
Can you hear me?
Can you? Yeah, we can hear you. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear-
Burger. I can hear you. Keep
You're having
talking.
about
It's fine. It's fine.
you're having about
It's
as
fine.
much luck with technology as I normally have. So we were just talking about favorite memory of last season. What was yours?
Oh gosh. Oh, there
Can
are
you
too many. I
choose?
think I could pick. I think I could pick one from each event. Um, but one overall. Uh,
It's so hard, isn't it?
Sorry, I'm just laughing that Sam is saying that apparently he thought that meeting him was
oh,
going to be my favorite
hello. Can you
memory for
still
the
hear me?
season. Yeah, we can hear you, Cara.
Uh,
Yes, we can.
okay, okay. Um, the fact that the call that I got for being told that I got Thrill Makers, I got the day I was flying to South Africa, and the day that I got called telling me that I got Creature Campus performance captain for Like an Amity was the day I landed in Israel. And I feel like that those were both two very, very, very surreal moments for me this year. And without those calls and without me, especially the call about Creature Campus, me screaming in a room with two girls, I had no idea what was going on. They've never been to Thorpe Park in their life. One of them barely spoke English. And I was just bouncing up and down like a little puppy dog, getting so excited because it's me. They have honestly been the most incredible moments that I can remember. But then, of course, there's all the times that I've been with my Thought Park family. There's too many. And there's times where I'm like with you guys, like as in like with the theme park enthusiasts, and the friends that I've made, the amazing creations that I've seen, the drawings, the pictures, the letters, everything. There's too many to count. But without those two very important calls I got, none of that would have happened. So for me, it's got to be the two calls. The first one being told I got Thrill Makers, and the second one being told I got Performance Captain.
Jen, it
Without
appears
that,
you've upset
nothing else in
Alex.
between happened.
Right. Oh, sorry, Cara. I was going to say, while you were talking, I didn't want to interrupt, but I just did think, how did I
No,
not
that's
mention
fine.
the hide and seek? Hide and seek happened when I worked at Labyrinth, and me and Alex were there, and yeah, shout out to
Oh, was that when we did the
Chels and
enthusiasts
Tracy
hide and
Simpson, Theme
seek?
Park Vicky, and Airtime Abby, if you're out there. Yes, that day. And it was, we were just keeping them hidden. It was, yeah, they were around somewhere, but yeah, I don't want to.
That's they
spoil it
they.
in
I seem
case
to remember they hopped over
it
the
was
hedge, didn't they? Right behind you.
good old journey to the that was this video. Yeah. Well, yes. If I'm saying then yes, literally in the hedge, in the bush. But yes, we just kept working at Mirror. Oh yeah, you were in there a while actually. Chels just. I don't know if
Yes,
you
she
saw that
was, wasn't
comment from
she?
Chels,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I actually was playing that game, but I never came around to you.
You were Seeker then, or were you hiding?
I was hiding over by Quantum. I came second,
Oh.
actually. I was one of the last people to be found. Me and little Gabriel, my middle son, were literally hiding in the bush directly opposite Quantum for about 45 minutes. I've never had such cramp in my life. It was horrific. When we climbed out of the bush that day, I felt every one of my 45 years. Because it was just absolutely horrific, because we'd been cramped in the bush like this for about 40 minutes, I think, in the end. And I was seizing up badly, and limping my way around. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun that day. But yeah, I was seizing up big time. What's Alex saying here? The attraction was shut like half of the day, so we had to stand up front, and you're hide and seek.
I can't forget about the memories. Oh, Oh, I do remember that was Black Mirror was closed at that point, so we're enjoying it even more, being able to just be at the front of the attraction, and yeah, it was cool. But yeah, I was gonna say, can't forget about classic memories from like even last season. Like this was my second Fright Night. It's been here a year. Me and Vanessa, we started together in Brown's Ghost Train originally, and we were terminal. No. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
happened
how
as
we
well.
started
It
together
was still a
last
real
year.
experience, wasn't it? That's mad that it's been a year since we've known each other now, over a year. Oh,
Time's just flown by, hasn't it, this year?
Yeah.
I'm
good
not gonna
memories
lie.
though.
It's when it kind of really dawned on me that the season was coming to an end, and I just felt like, hold on a minute, it only started a couple of weeks ago. What the hell's going on? Because it's just been an absolute roller coaster, for want of a better analogy, I suppose. It's just flown by. There's been barely a moment to sort of stand back and go, whoa, hold on a minute. It's blink and it was gone. But it's been so much fun. As I say, I think I've loved pretty much every moment of this season. Certainly, I've loved every moment I've spent at Thorpe Park. A part that I never thought I would enjoy so much, because obviously back in the day when I started, there were very few rides at Thorpe Park that I'd actually even get on. So I think it was 2019. I remember I came to Thorpe Park, and literally we were only in park for 2 hours because there was nothing there for me. The only roller coaster I'd done at Thorpe Park at that point was Inferno. So I tried to get back on Inferno. It broke down in the station. They couldn't release the restraints because the train had moved. So they couldn't release them without management override. And it was during mask wearing as well. So it must have been 2020. It was during mask wearing for COVID as well. And I literally sat on that train and hyperventilated and got off and went, we're going home. And we left. That was it. We left. But last year, it was just, I've loved every minute. I've even coming back to the park on my own without obviously family, which I'd never done before, but felt like I was comfortable enough to do it and have loved doing it, and will probably do it a lot more next year because I appreciate, my children are quite young still. They're not Thorpe Park height. They've loved the shows, but ride wise, the offerings limited, very limited. So it's more of a park for me. And it's nice that it is that, because I like having that too. I love going to, all the parks. I love them all. But it's nice to have Thorpe as my park, at least until Gabriel's 1.4. And then I've got a feeling it won't be my park anymore. It'll be, as soon as I say, "Oh, I'm going to Thorpe Park," there won't be even a question about it. He'll be getting his coat on, saying, "Okay, well, what time are we going?" So, but I do look forward to that day as well, for him to get on to, the bigger rides with me. It'll be like the next step of a legacy almost. But I think that's it for the questions. I think people have generally asked. Sorry, go on, Vanessa,
Sorry,
please.
I was going to add one more memory before we finish. Just playing
Go for it.
In Carnival, playing catch with Holly from Ben and Holly's Theme Park Adventures. I had to mention that first before we finished. I enjoyed playing
Holly
as a clown with Holly.
Yes, I absolutely love Holly. I've told
they're
and
so
retold.
sweet.
I love this guy.
They're just an amazing family, and I absolutely love them to bits. And I always tell the story of last year on my birthday that Holly actually made me a birthday card and bought it all the way to Thorpe Park for me.
That's so sweet.
And she almost made me cry with it because I was just like, there's this little girl who's never met me before in her life, but wanted to make me a birthday card, and just it really, really, really touched me. But there's been so many amazing people, that we've all met, I guess, because of the parks, and it's just it's one of those hobbies, interests that just seems to be very sociable, and very
Yeah.
conducive to making and meeting new people and friends. And I just
And not even that, like, sorry, people's careers have really, like, we've got like theme park Callum. He's no longer theme park Callum, it's Cal Corset, for after rebranding, like, he's really, he started doing headshots now and all this kind of stuff, and helping people find the confidence to do what they love has been wonderful. Sorry to interrupt you.
So proud of that boy. And with Tom as well, I'm helping him out with a photo shoot soon. Actually, we've been talking, and he's lifting off with his photography. So it's been absolutely incredible to see.
As well.
Sorry.
And Daisy as well. I've gotten so many
Yes.
incredible pictures from Daisy.
Yes, absolutely, yeah, you're right. I think it has been a springboard. I mean, my since I became more Thorpe Park focused, my YouTube channel has become bigger, and obviously I've had to rebrand because I don't feel like I'm that anxious anymore, and maybe I was claiming to be the anxious rider is almost feels a little bit fraudulent these days when I'm raving about how excited I am to get on Hyperia. But again, that's come about largely because of Thorpe Park and Stealth. For me, that's been the one that's really put me where I am now, because that's probably the one ride that I never believed I'd ever get on, and now I'm happy to go and lap it. It doesn't bother me. It's like, Stealth. Let's go and do Stealth. It's not a Stealth. Oh God, hold on. I need to prepare myself for this. I need to, I used to have little routines that I used to have to go through to actually get on these rides. Sometimes, like little, I suppose it's like, you see people who have. And I really empathize with them, OCD and things, and there's certain things they have to do in order to be able to. And I was at that point for quite a long time. There were certain items of clothing I had to be wearing. There were some rides where I had to enter in a certain way, sort of, and just it's just now it's like it's moved on massively from that, and that is because of Thorpe Park and because of the people and the place, and just the future's exciting, the future's bright, the future's Hyperia. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap up because I think we've all been chatting an awful long time, and I think we can probably chat at least another hour, if not longer, especially if Cara finds something else to tell us about. We will definitely be doing this again. I know, exactly. So I think we definitely need to do it again, and I think it's lovely to keep catching up. And we can do it after Christmas, and sort of hopefully you guys will be a bit more knowledgeable about how auditions are happening, or if they've happened, how it's going, are you coming back, and and there's so much we can talk about. I can talk for England, that. You've all spoken to me on Park.
Oh, I'll join you. I'll join you.
I was going to say, and Cara's brilliant as well. It's great. So, but yeah.
I think, and we've had jokes about it, especially within the Thrill Maker family, that I am a self-proclaimed Thorpe Park enthusiast. I think is what I found. But I also think it's just because wherever I've been, like working or school and stuff like that, I've made that like my home and my thing, and I what's the word? It's a ADHD thing. I hyperfocus on that.
Yes.
But yeah, now I'm talking about stuff again. I'm so sorry you're trying to wrap up and I'm doing it again.
No, it's fine. I always leave these things, but somebody messaged me earlier. In fact, it was Cara, and said, "Oh, how long is the stream likely to be?" And I said, "Well, it'll be at least an hour, but it'll be lucky if it's only an hour." And
and here we are.
There's a school
and here we are.
Sorry, guys.
And it is a school night, I'm afraid. Yeah. So, but thank you to everybody that's watched tonight and stayed with us. If you aren't subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe. when I had a look at my channel just before we went on air, I was 1 subscriber away from hitting 1,500.
Slay!
So if there is anybody left in the chat that hasn't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I would love to hit the 1,500. And keep your eyes peeled on my Instagram as well, because there's a giveaway coming soon. So yeah, a 4-hour stream next, Ethan. Yeah, well, you know what? I talked once about with another account
I'll
about
be
doing.
there.
Yeah.
Well, we actually talked about doing a stream through the night for charity.
Oh, I would do that.
So I think yeah, well, maybe it's a
Sounds fun,
thought actually. Yeah, can we keep talking all night long? I'm sure me and Cara can.
Absolutely.
We're good for this.
Just you and me, Karen. You and me. We could talk for England.
Oh, apparently Dave's just informed me that I've hit the 1,500. So thank you so much, everybody. That's really appreciated. And yes, I will keep you posted as to future episodes, because they will be odd episodes, but it's not coming back as a regular live stream for now. But I will be doing the odd episodes because I miss it. I miss live streaming. I do like a live stream. But thank you guys for joining me tonight, and obviously for listening and contributing. It's been absolutely lovely having you with me again, and it feels like a catch up amongst friends. No, and I'll be in touch about another episode because we absolutely have to do it.
4-hour live stream. Woo!
Yeah.
Hopefully with my camera working.
I'll wait till you're back at your more permanent residence, Cara,
Yes,
and then
please and thank you.
you'll be absolutely fine then. Cool. All right. Well, as I said, thank you very much for joining tonight, guys, and I will speak to you all very soon. Until then, take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you on Instagram soon.
Take care.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. There we go, guys. That wraps up another live stream. Thank you all for watching. If you are watching it on record, thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to hit the like button if you've enjoyed the show, and subscribe if you are not subscribed. I'm heading to Chesington for Winter's Tale soon, so obviously the festivities. Please keep your eyes open for that. And I have got another Legoland sort of vlog coming out soon, which is a record of our having to leave Legoland early due to the extremely cold temperatures. So that's it from me. Thank you again for watching. I look forward to hopefully seeing you all in another live stream at some point in the future. Until then, look after yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.